All right, welcome back to another installment of Julian's Random Projects. Welcome to the new and echoey home office. I'll have to do something about the echo in a future video, but for today it is reviving an old record player so that the wife and kids can listen to some of the albums that they've got. Some are family heirlooms and some are new finds that they've found at thrift stores and things like that. And in moving recently, we lost a number of boxes or haven't unpacked every last one of them, and somewhere in one of those boxes is hiding our record player. I decided to pull the trigger and bought one off of eBay, and if I'm going to buy a new one, or at least new to me, or a different one, I'm going to pick up one that had a linear stylus, not unlike CDs or Laserdiscs read their data. Instead of a swinging arm that swings like this, it's a tracking arm that tracks like this. Step one was to get it all cleaned up. After closing the lid, it automatically moves the stylus over and drops it for you. And it even has queuing and skipping to the next track. It's got some really advanced features for a record player. My guess is it's looking for the lack of audio, so a solid, or just background noise or something like that to indicate that it's the next track. I'll have to test in the future to see if a song that has a long pause with no music in the background registers as a gap between tracks. We'll see. Got it all cleaned up. Looks like it's playing, at least the mechanism's moving around. And after getting it connected up to one of the amps that I had in the garage when I would listen to records out there, it seemed really, really faint. And even when I cranked up the volume all the way, it wasn't putting out what my previous record player would. And I remember people talking about a preamp and being required with certain receivers and that type of stuff. And sure enough, this vintage of record player was old enough that it would have been plugged into a Phono jack, and that Phono jack would have had a built-in preamp. And because of that, we had to come up with an external preamp. And the best one, according to the internets, is, or at least the most common and simple one, is this Pyle PP999. And we've got left and right audio out, 12 volts in to power this thing, ground if you please, and left and right audio in. Pretty straightforward. We'll be coupling this with another amplifier. I figure if I'm going to be doing a project like the one we're doing today, reviving the wife's handed down stereo, we might want to go with an upgrade. In walks the Kinter audio amplifier and more. This is, I'm not an audiophile by any means, and actually, as I understand it, lots of manufacturers, there's not someone that's going to go out and reinvent the wheel for their audio amplifier. They're going to buy something off the shelf and then populate it onto their PCB and then wrap it up in their aluminum or their steel enclosure and try and differentiate themselves from other brands. I'm not speaking from someone who's done a bunch of research. I'm just saying that because there's a race to the bottom, and also there's some standardization, the world's very, very flat and a lot smaller than you think it is. The amplifiers, the chipsets, the capacitors, the resistors, all the components that are in this they're all coming from the same sources. There's probably 2 or 3 folks that are making decent capacitors in the world, or the audio amp in here is one of just a few. And so they'll test these things, and it's either perfect, a little bit crappy this way, or a little bit crappier that way. And if you want to build a really high-end deck or amplifier from insert name of reputable brand here, you buy from the middle of that bell. You want stuff that's dead nuts on. And if things deviate negative 2%, positive 2%, they still work. They work great. Hell, it might even be negative 2% because on the day they didn't warm up, any number of issues. And so people purchase those on the lower end or on the sides of that bell curve, and they include them in their cheap Chinese electronics, these almost no-name brands, and get them out to the public. And so, again, Class T amplifier, it's got yield treble and bass. We'll put those in the middle for now. You can select between running them through those or going direct, and then a master knob. My guess, a big super cool blue LED back there. We'll find out.
Why the hell would you run this game? Both my hands are tied. Afraid of thinking I dug my own grave. Fuck around with this strange and elusive. Too afraid to lose it. I don't mind this pain. Most niggas want you for your candy. They'll never know just how long it takes. I weighed my own pride. I put it down on the line. There I go.
Goes inside that barrel.
Oh, yeah, I see. I see.
Perfect. That's it.
I didn't hear it click.
It doesn't click, it just pushes in. Clicking would have been nice, but it doesn't do that.
Yeah, so like people can make sure.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said earlier, we're gonna do this like the other one. We're gonna hang it up like somewhere over here, maybe over here. But this time, remember that these scissors weren't working that well. So we got these. Okay, let's get started. That was way easier.
Ellie, you're right. We had to put it here, but mostly because the only other RCA cables that I have are a short length.
Yeah.
So to go there. So it is in from the record player, out to the amplifier. You can see the red and the white.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna plug this white one into the white one, like that. Push it in.
I can't see it with your hand in the way.
All right, I'll do it that way. And the red one goes into the right one, like that. And then I got our power, and that's it. Let's go set it in the cabinet. We will take the cables, we'll fish them through down to the bottom, like this.
Can you come over to
sure.
that side?
We're gonna tuck those down in there. There we go. All right, let's go on the back side and show them how to connect it.
I think we're maybe done.
All right, you want to open it up? Let's power it up and see if we were successful. All right, we have to turn it on. Let's see, like that. And then if you come down over here, there's a switch right here.
Zero music select?
Uh-huh. Here, excuse me. Here we go. And over here, there's a little switch. Flip that on.
Then what?
Now the volume, this is the big one's the volume, okay? There we go.
Which
So now,
one is loud and which one
we'll find out.
is...
Okay, now hit play or start that one, yep. Okay, see the little needle go? Just drop down. All right, so now we'll take the big volume and turn it slowly. Nice.
Oh my god.
Dance. Nice, all right, high five.
Nice.
Lucy, where's those packets? Thank you. All right, so there it is, all buttoned up. There's not a lot of value in these things. I mean, you find them at yard sales and stuff for, you know, 20 bucks. They're not made out of high quality wood. It's actually just plywood with like a thin veneer on it. You can, it's really clear when you see here from the side profile the cut. It's just cheap particle board that was put together. My guess is probably in the 70s because of the 8-track player. The only reason that I've revived this one is its sentimental value to the wife. So this thing was handed down from her mom. It survived a house fire at one point, and it's only worth what it has in memories and fun times with the family. So she used to come over and put records on and play stuff out of here. So it's got a lot of fond memories of this thing. Now it can get used by our kids, and I might come back another day. There's a little bit of a hum. I didn't connect all the ground loops, which is something I've got to do. And when I do, I'll also add in maybe a little AV switch here to, or an AB switch to connect an audio line to this Airport Express, so you can also stream music to it if you'd like. Yeah, really adding a lot of new life to something as old as this is. So if you find an old cabinet on the side of the road or something at a yard sale and you think it fits in your home decor, consider grabbing one of these and gutting them, putting something in there. Don't shed a tear that you're tossing out some antique or something. These things were built in high quantity and sort of like medium quality, and so there's not a lot of demand for the turntable and the mechanism and that type of stuff. So yeah, have fun. If you'd like to see more videos like this, the random type, both in frequency and type, all you gotta do is subscribe to Julian's Random Projects.
I'm hanging in, there ain't no doubt, and I'm hanging tough. Over and out, over and out, over and out.